I was just reminiscing about the days when Big Mike was like, when they go low, we go high, which we all know they've never done. Like, they always go low. They always go as low as you can go. They actually, like, they're already in the mud. They bring us down to where they are. But at least they tried to message that they didn't. They're just kind of giving up on that messaging. Like, Democrats are just like giving up, trying to pretend like they have the high ground on anything, I guess for the day. I don't know. I'm sure they'll change their minds very quickly, but at least over the weekend, they decided to hijack the funeral service for Reverend Jesse Jackson to push their radical ideologies. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Jesse Jackson was very, very political. Jesse Jackson was very radical. Probably he would have wanted them to do that. Actually, according to his son, that was the last thing that he wanted. So let's back up a little bit. Several weeks ago, after Jesse Jackson had passed, his son, Jesse Jackson Jr., warned people not to bring politics to his funeral service.
Do not bring your politics, out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived, to these homegoing services. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all, Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived.
Seems very clear, a very clear and polite warning from Jesse Jackson Jr., but you guys are going to be shocked to hear Democrats didn't care. They didn't care. Now, you had in attendance Bill and Hillary Clinton. I guess they were done with their, testimony. Bill was done like flirting with Nancy Mace during his congressional hearing. So they attended. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. And instead of heeding Jesse Jackson Jr.'s advice, they decided that someone's funeral was the time to attack, yes, you guessed it, Orange Man Bad, Donald Trump. Watch.
Each day we wake up to some new assault on our democratic institutions. Another setback to the idea of the rule of law. Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other, and that some Americans count more than others.
The accent is too much.
And that some don't even count at all.
What's happening?
He's a Southern
Everywhere
preacher.
we see greed and bigotry being celebrated, and bullying and mockery masquerading as strength. We see science and expertise denigrated, while ignorance and dishonesty and cruelty and corruption are reaping untold rewards every single day. We see
every single day.
It's hard to hope.
Oh, everyone, every moment. Can I get an amen? Oh, in this moment, like, give me a break. Give me a break. And what's even more despicable are the people standing up and clapping. Like, this is supposed to be a solemn, somber moment. And Barack Obama just turned into like a Southern preacher, apparently, and has an accent that he never had before. Actually, I take that back. I'm sure he had it on his campaign trails whenever he was getting elected. Other than that, couldn't find the accent anywhere. And these people are getting up and standing and clapping and hooting and hollering because he is what? Owning Donald Trump? That's disgusting, guys. Now, I also, we heard from Kamala, and it's like, you ever watch the movie He's Just Not That Into You? Like, this is Kamala now in the country. Like, we didn't vote for you, which means we don't want to hear from you. And somehow she just keeps popping up and is like, oh, is this microphone for me? Okay. All right. Well, here's what I have to say. And she thought that she had something here. I don't know. You guys tell me. Watch.
So let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now.
Oh. She told you so.
I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming. But what I did not predict is that we would not have Jesse Jackson with us right now to help us get through this.
Okay, Stephen, I'm going to ask you in a second to play this one more time. Watch you see the moment on Kamala's face as she's that she's like, oh shit, we're at a funeral. I probably should not be laughing like this. And you see her like in real time go like, now back to our solemn occasion. Watch.
So let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now.
There it is.
I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming. But what I did not predict is that we would not have Jesse Jackson with us right now to help us get through this.
What I did not predict. I'm reining it in now. Okay. I mean, thank you for the reminder of the shit show that could have been had you gotten elected, Cackles. And somehow, Kamala wasn't the most incoherent speaker at this thing because I did tell you. I told you who else was in attendance. Enjoy.
Here's the point. You know, the fact is that as I learned, and by the way, I've forgotten more about what Putin does and these guys and she than most people know. I've met with Putin for, anyway.
Honestly, I've forgotten how much I enjoyed watching these clips. And honestly, I enjoy them much more that he's not president because it was terrifying when he was president. And now it's just pretty funny to laugh. Like, what? Every time he trails off, it's... So anywho, I'm just going to move on. Just pretend. Like, play that again, Stephen.
Here's the point. You know, the fact is that as I learned, and by the way, I've forgotten more about what Putin does and these guys and she than most people know.
Forgotten.
I've met with Putin for, anyway.
Is it Putin or pooping? I don't know which one.
He's forgotten about either Putin or pooping, probably both of which are correct. So I don't really know, but he's forgotten about more about Putin and Xi and anyone else. So anyway. Now, I'm not done with Joe Biden, okay? He, as we know, not only can he not string together a coherent sentence, he also just like says random things about himself that are not true. So now we find out, apparently, Joe Biden was involved in appointing the first black justice to the Supreme Court when he was a freshman senator.
They put me on two really important committees. The Judiciary Committee, which allowed me to appoint the first black justice to the Supreme Court.
That would be great, but Thurgood Marshall was appointed 4 years before Joe Biden got into office. So I don't actually know who he's talking about. Clarence Thomas? I don't know. But what I know to be a fact because of Joe Biden's history is that he is very racist against black people. And, I know he's like, hey, there's the black people. Hey, I got that one black guy friend. And that's what he was doing, right? He's like, I'm not racist. I appointed the black guy. The first black guy. It was me. I appointed the first black woman. I mean, she's dumb as all get out, but she's black. I'm not racist. We know Joe Biden's history with racism. And he was making a point about how people called him stupid because of his stutter, I guess. And then a heckler called him stupid, and here was that exchange.
Now, if I told you all earlier when I was a kid I had a cleft palate or a club foot, none of you would have laughed. But it's okay to laugh at stuttering. I'm not being critical of you, but think about it. It's the one place where people think you're stupid. Oh, really? I'm a hell of a lot smarter than most of you.
First of all, fact check. That doesn't appear to be true. Second of all, probably don't call an audience of black mourners stupid. Probably don't do that. Hey, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Now, I will say, at least he didn't go so far as Gavin Newsom did, who was like, I'm dumb like you guys. I can't read either. I only got a 940 on my SAT. Did I mention I can't swim? Like, that's Gavin Newsom. So I will say, Joe Biden can go lower. I tell you guys, the Democrats have no floor. He could go lower. Now, Jesse Jackson's son was not happy with this. He told them, he warned them, they did it anyway. And credit where credit is due, he did call them out for that.
I listened for several hours of 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson. He maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message, the demands of speaking for the least of these, those who were disinherited, the damned, the dispossessed, the disrespected, demanded not Democratic or Republican solutions, but demanded a consistent, prophetic voice.
Al Sharpton's like, who, me? Who, me? I gotta tell you, when I finally pass, which I hope is not for a very long time, unless Jesus comes back, I really would prefer that people don't go to my funeral and start talking about their stutter or like politics and how, people are dumb and Donald Trump is evil or whatever. Like, what a total disrespect. What a complete and utter lack of respect for not only Jesse Jackson, but Jesse Jackson's son, who just gave them one simple request. And it really is not hard. You're there to celebrate the life of this one man and mourn his death, not to make it about yourself or make it about your politics. It should be very easy. And somehow the Democrats can't handle it, which really shouldn't shock you to see this latest poll. They're not doing well, not doing great. 30% of people have a positive view of the Democrats. That's it. 52% negative view. Now, Republicans not doing much better. It's a little bit better, but 30% have a positive view of the Democrats. Gee, I can't imagine why. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.